Good day and welcome to the TentBox UK, the TentBox Lite 2. Is it any good? Well, I can actually tell you because I have used that TentBox more than once, more than twice, more than thrice. I've used it more than 3 times. And that's because I'm a bit of a wild camper, an adventurer, an explorer, as opposed to being a well-heeled family with a couple of kids who just want to use a TentBox maybe once, twice, or thrice. I'll say it again. If you look at the second-hand market for the TentBox, they will have all been used once, twice, or thrice. Fact. That's because of the marketing campaign of the TentBox. Now you can see that I have not followed suit. No, one does not have a BMW estate, nor a Range Rover Sport or Deluxe. I don't even have a twin cab. No, and my vehicle's not even black. It is not. It is burgundy. It is. And it is a 2002 Fiesta with a sunroof that apparently the TentBox will not survive. Well, your car won't, it will crush it because the roof bars are only rated to 40 kilo. Sorry, 70 kilo, where the tent is 40 kilo and I'm 80 kilo. So how has the TentBox survived? With a 3-month tour of Europe, a 2-week tour of Scotland in 60-mile-an-hour gale force winds and rains across the Highlands, and also with a month back here in the UK in Norwich, where it's been a warm summer for the last 3 or 4 weeks. It really has. So how has the TentBox stood up to all weather conditions, good, bad and ugly? Is it worth its money? Is it worth the value? Is it really that good? Well, it all comes down to the person using it. Now, I have used that. I've probably slept in that more than 30 nights. It's still in as well, it's in excellent condition. It's brand new. Look, it really is. There is no wear or tear on the TentBox after owning it for 6 months and travelling around all of Europe and Scotland. And it's still sitting on there, right? It still is. But there are problems, not major concerns, but there are issues with a TentBox that if you are looking to buy one, first off, you really need to look at yourself, right? Not the marketing campaign. Thinking, oh, I've got plenty of money, I'll just buy one and they might look wicked on the car, we can go out the weekend. And then moan about all the issues that you're going to discover, because it all comes down to the weather conditions. Now, the last few weeks I've been here in Norwich, that tent has been absolutely brilliant because we haven't had a lot of cold air temperature outside, and the temperature out and in has been pretty much the same. Not had loads of rain, right? So we've not had those 1 or 2 concerns with the TentBox. You either get condensation because you close up all the plastic hatches and make that an airtight unit. It is not that breathable. So when you wake up in the morning or through the night, your bedding will get damp. It will. But you can always dry your bedding. But that is in, ultimate conditions. When it's cold outside and warm inside, you're going to get more and more condensation. But you can buy moisture balls, apparently. Now, you can buy all kinds of moisture materials to add to your TentBox. But when I've paid 1,285 quid for a TentBox with free post from the company direct, I don't expect to buy any extras. I expect there to be 0 issues. But the facts of life have proved that wrong. Now, if you have a T4, a T5, a T6, the most bestest Volkswagen camper out there, you're going to get condensation, aren't you? You know, so whatever, how good it is at night when you're in a concealed unit, you're going to get that condensation. Okay, now another issue that I have gone over before with the TentBox is if you do get too warm and snug in there, which I have done, I've took all the bedding out because I've actually sold the TentBox. And that's but you do get a bit of moisture. I'll show you. Now, I've done this on other vlogs that I've been making, where I've been pulling up and pointing out little issues of the TentBox. And when it comes to the mattress, look at that, brand new. If you flip her over, you will see, man, how much I sweated last night. Sweaty Betty, right? I have not wet the bed. No, I have not. That is the amount of sweat. I have not sprayed that this morning. I have not done any marketing or advertising tricks to get that wet, other than sleeping it last night. Now, last night, I'm surprised about that actually, because last night was a little bit cold outside. So I thought I'd wear my onesie. Now, the onesie is a bit damp. But obviously even the onesie has let out all that sweat, and I'm a little bit surprised to see that much. Now, that could be a major concern for most people trying to keep on it there. And if I look inside, if you can see on the camera, the moisture that has built up mainly around those nuts. You can see the moisture in there. Whoa. So there you go, that is a major concern. But now you know about that concern, you can do certain things to keep on top of it. Because under that mattress, if you look at the solid base, it is not breathable. It cannot be breathable because it will let cold air in. So as much thought and design going into the tent, that is an issue. It is an issue. But I've been told you can put moisture tissue underneath it to absorb it. But what I do in ultimate conditions in the summer, when the weather's good, where I've come to this campsite, I've been able to take out all my bedding and the mattress, and I usually lean the mattress up against there for a couple of hours, and the pegs are all there where I'll go and put my bedding, I'll peg it out, and I'll get it dry before I put it all back and have a really warm, comfy, snug bedroom, which this is. Now there you go. It is not a tent box. This is not a tent. No, it looks like a tent, but it's not a tent. Because if it was a tent, right, you'd be able to get in your tent and sit in there. But it isn't a tent. It is a bed box. That is nothing other than a 3/4 bed. It's a bedroom. It is. So if you have your bedroom, you do have this wonderful, oh man, outdoor shelter. Just as long as it's not 60-mile-an-hour gale force winds in Scotland, where you'll be swept from side to side. So bear that in mind. But I can honestly tell you, where I've been and where I've camped in the tent box, I don't think any other tent would have gave me those options. I don't think it would have done. I looked at the other options before I bought a tent box. What do I buy? A carp tent, a bivvy, a dome, a Nash Easy Dome, or a Fox Euro Dome that just pops up instantly. And then you'd buy a bed chair and put it inside, and then you'd have a chair, so you'd actually have a tent. But when you're short on space, that would work here. Obviously, it'd be absolutely brilliant. Take your fishing rods, go camp and do a bit of fishing. Be brilliant, fantastic. And cheaper than campsites, by the way. Carp lakes, great place to go and camp. They really are. But, oh, excuse me, it is the amount of room that a tent, a bivvy, that when I've been in Europe and I've gone through country lanes and I want to get in these hideaway places, that little car with a tent box on it has hidden myself in vineyards, coastlines, abandoned buildings, and more coastlines, mill pools, all kinds of places where I've managed to park that car where perhaps you wouldn't get your camper van or your Range Rover or any other vehicle. So when it comes to marketing the tent box, you need to really market to the people who are going to really use it. And that's people on a low budget who loves a bit of camping and getting in the wild. And that's where a car like the little 2002 1300 Fiesta comes in really handy. Plus, you don't need to spend all that money on petrol, gas guzzling. You do not. You do not. Now, one of my concerns when I first bought the TentBox, it didn't come with any instructions. So for the first month or so, when I had a little bit of rain, I did not have a clue to how to put these bars in there like that, right? And I'm going to show you why. No instructions, right? So I got to the point, I've got the bar, and I'm looking, and I'm like, I couldn't suss it out. Me personally, no, I mean, I couldn't. I didn't know how the bars went, so I'd actually have a flappy, windy rain sheet. I actually went to the website, not the website, the YouTube vlog, and I watched it twice. And the guy is saying, you need to just feel that pole near the hole there, and just wiggle that about. And I'm like, I did that, I didn't get anywhere. So what I had to do is what I normally have to do when there's a flap, when wood need to go in hole, best thing to do, I've found, is don't just wiggle it about, a bit of luck, hope that you might just find the hole. No, lift the flap up, right? Actually lift the flap up. It's all right, you can do that. And then you'll see the little hole. And you will see it has been angled. So you just pop your pole in, man. Now, why couldn't someone have made that on the video rather than what they did? Go and have a look at the video. It's really annoying. It's a marketing video when they've actually perhaps employed someone, a salesman, to come and do a sales pitch. Unlike myself, I'm just a natural person who's used that over 6 months, and it's been really good. Now, I have sold it for £800 second hand, so I've had over 30 nights use in there, maybe 40, more than that perhaps. Been able to get in some fantastic places, right, where I wouldn't have normally have got. I've enjoyed wild camping. I mean, the last place I wild camped at Swanton Morley by the river, that was a superb place to spot. It's free fishing along the river. And where I had the cover of the tree, hardly any damn bear come in, even though I was by the river. So that really is the tent box in a nutshell. To me, it's like, it could be a bit cheaper, like 800 quid could be its real value, because you have got to constantly work and, I don't know, keeping on top of the moisture. That's either going to come in through the night, through your vents with a damp air in the UK. Not so much of a problem in Europe because it's a nice dry air. It was a massive problem in Scotland with the condensation because of the cold air outside and the warm air inside. And where I was staying in, the amount of fog and everything, I was like, what's worse, getting soaked by my condensation or getting soaked by the moisture outside through the vents? So that is the TentBox Lite 2 in a nutshell. And also I like to take that right off rather than keeping it hooked underneath. Right, and that rain and weather's getting up. So one more thing. Good day, buddy. You all right? You all right? That's the boss. He's camera shy, the boss. Well, no, so all I have to do now, right, I would like 2 hands because its redeeming feature with the TentBox is how quick it goes up and then how quick it goes down. It does, it goes down and up really quick. It is, so it's just a matter of just walking around, one hand, pulling out your poles. Now, where that is, I will point out another problem that will become a problem over time. You need a little bit of Vaseline, because if you look, that's I believe these are steel and they're going into alloy holes. So where that's metal on metal, after a little bit of time, that might just lock in there. So what I would do, to maintain it, just I would, if I would have designed it, I would have put silicone sleeves on both. So it would go in nice and easy, smooth all the time. But because that's metal on metal, that could cause a corrosive issue long time. It could. So like I say, they're a little bit now to pull them out. Just pull them out and put them on there. Not a problem. And it does act as a little place to put my towel. I'm hoping it don't rain. Look, because this moisture under the bed, I think, is the main problem. It's getting rid of that sweat, which I want to see long gone before I go and deliver it to its new owner. Don't want to get to the new owner like first thing she sees is like, is that? it'd put me off. I'm sure it'd put you off. So, and you can, the tent box is that simple. You can literally put it away with one hand whilst vlogging. How good is that? Now what I always like to do is keep both of the doors open, rolled up there, because then what that does, when that's open like that for the last couple of hours since I've been up, it's just getting all the air blowing through to keep it fresh. It is. So that's why I leave those doors open, as always. And then of course, a little ladder. Top tip, when you pick the ladder up, the first thing you do is make sure that flap is down there. Right, can you do this with one hand? Can you? I'd hope so. Where I washed this last night, it's got a little bit stiff because there's a lot of water in there. But you can actually do the ladder up, go on, with one hand. Might be tricky, but we'll get there in the end. So pull that, and then you put your Velcro on there, and that is your ladder. And with one hand, you can just lift that like that. I forgot to put the mattress in. I think that's looking a bit empty. That is. So, but that's how easy that go down. And then you got your little strap. So now you know how easy it is to go down. To pull up, to erect it. We love an erection within seconds, don't we guys, right? So this is a proper, see how long this erection takes to get up. So what you do, pull a ladder with one hand, lever it, grab it, and pull it back. And that's you, that's your tent up. Wouldn't you just love an erection in that time? And there it goes, hopefully now it's up, it'll stay up. Right, so that concludes my vlog about the tent box, and hopefully that's you sorted. You don't need any more information about it. From a non-biased point of view, it has got its issues, but in the long run and the value, it's got a strong second-hand value, and taking into consideration this is September, okay, and I'm selling that at 800. It is now the end of camping season, so maybe someone's buying that, they're going to go out and do some winter camping, or maybe they're buying it to use for next year. Now, the amount of money that has saved me with having to pay accommodation, 3 months in Europe, there is no, the tent box saved my packet, otherwise I'd never been able to go. And also in Scotland and in the UK. It's been brilliant, but I do like this campsite, I do. Peggy's Pastures, which is pretty busy this week. What is it, today's Tuesday? We still have people coming out to do a bit of camping, and it's all good. It's all good in the hood. And here is where I like to do my bit of camping and have a barbecue of an evening. Right, that's it. That is, I'm off to McDonald's to have a breakfast and catch up on a little bit of internet. So guys, that is the TentBox Lite 2, fully explained. So I hope you enjoyed that little vlog. Thank you very much for sticking with me right to the bitter end. And until next time, au revoir.